Well, good morning and welcome back to, as I often say, the fabulous final segment here on CityLine. With me in the next 12 minutes are two individuals who are devoted to a program that I believe is so essential to the fabric of our lives and our community. And I'm talking about the Read2Me program. So please join me in welcoming Kerrisan Meyer. You are the Volunteer Services Manager for Read2Me. Welcome to CityLine.
Thank you, and thanks so much for talking up Read2Me. It's an important program, and it seems like a lot of people love it.
A lot of people do love it. It is one of the highest highs I have ever experienced when it comes to children and being a part of making a difference. It is the full meal deal. So thank you for being here on this program and also for bringing this man who is I love to death. Mr. Michael Henson, you are a Read2Me tutor and advisory group member. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I was so glad to see your name. I'm like, oh, please tell me he's still with them because he's a gem.
Yeah, I've been with the program for, 15 plus years. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm not going anywhere.
We never want to lose you. And if we do, I'm going to come to your house and bring a camera and go, why weren't you on the show? So let's talk about this, Kerrisan. We've had several guests from Tacoma Community House on this show in the past who share with us the who, what, and where of the Tacoma Community House. So I want to hear from you what you think that is.
Yeah. So Tacoma Community House has been serving Tacoma for 108 years.
Wow.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
When they were first created, they were serving the immigrants and refugees in the neighborhood. And 108 years later, we're doing the same thing.
Incredible.
Yes. So we serve them to build self-sufficiency, to advocate for themselves, and to be fully included in this community. We do that with 4 core programs: education, immigration services, employment, and advocacy services.
Wow. You cover the whole wheel, don't you?
Yes, we do.
You do.
And Read2Me came to Tacoma Community House about 5 years ago. We really focus on adult literacy in our education programs, and we saw Read2Me as a great opportunity to get in a little bit early, help children read at grade level by the time they leave 3rd grade, so maybe they don't have to come back as adults.
Yes.
And seek those services.
Absolutely. Let's talk about your role as volunteer service manager. What does it encompass?
Yes. So I get the pleasure of working with community members who want to put their action or their passion into action. So they see things happening in the community and they want to help immigrants and refugees. So they come in and support education classrooms. They do one-on-one tutoring with adults. They support citizenship classes, helping people learn the vast knowledge that you need to become a citizen.
Yes.
Or advocate for clients as they are working through this community.
Wow, what a gift.
Yeah.
What a gift to be able to do that.
In addition to that, they also get to do Read2Me, which is completely run by volunteers. We have a few site coordinators that provide support, but the work, one-on-one done with children, is all done by volunteers.
Impressive. Boy, and talk about the memories of that, of sitting next to a child and or an adult and helping them understand our world better. So Michael, let's talk about the history of Read2Me, because you've been, well, first off, what's your history with Read2Me? Share that with me.
Oh, so I've been a volunteer with the program for maybe 15 or so years.
Wow.
Lots of volunteers though that have been with the program for longer, 20 plus years. Yeah, it's an amazing program, and actually it's the 30-year anniversary of Read2Me.
Wow.
Known as different programs in the past, as SMART or as Whirlin, but it's been a great partnership with the Tacoma Public School system over the last 30 years. To provide that extra support to the little kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, it's really, pardon the phrase, a no-brainer. Why would you not be a partner with Tacoma Public Schools in this? Because that's what it's all about. So what do you see for the future? Because, immigration is a hot topic on all of our political agendas and sanctuary cities, and this fits right into it.
The future for the Read2Me program is really bright. I know that. I mean, we're hoping to expand into more schools. We serve 4 schools right now, and really that's only limited by the number of volunteers that we're able to recruit. But beyond that, I mean, I think Kerrisan can speak to the kind of the work of the Tacoma Community House.
Absolutely. How does that fit in with the overall mission?
Yes, so we will continue serving immigrants and refugees with our 4 core programs, but we're also looking at, in Tacoma, how can we make sure that we invite people in and that they feel safe in here. One way that we're doing that is September 20th is, the week of September 20th is Welcoming Week. And that's where everybody in Tacoma, a lot of different organizations are coming together and saying, immigrants, you're welcome here. This is your home, and we are supporting you in this.
I love that. And that should be on everybody's lips at all times. So you're in charge of volunteers. Let's talk about how do you utilize a volunteer? And secondly, is Tacoma Community House all staffed by volunteers?
Yes, great question. So we utilize volunteers to be able to serve more people. We do have a very wonderful staff of about 50 people who are dedicated to the mission, and volunteers come alongside them to just expand their production, really, to be able to see more clients, to be able to teach more people, to give people one-on-one time that maybe a teacher might not have, but a volunteer definitely has that time that can fit one-on-one with a student.
Absolutely. So Michael, I think you are so qualified to answer this next question, and we have some pictures of volunteers we're going to run. But first off, who and why should someone volunteer? And then what's the typical profile in your experience of a volunteer at Tacoma Community House?
Well, I think anybody that wants to be involved in the community should be a volunteer. It's such an awesome way to have a direct impact on the community around you. You know, we have volunteers that range from college students all the way up to retirees, working professionals. I work for Columbia Bank. We have a number of volunteers from Columbia Bank, and I think working professionals are kind of ideal tutors. They're good role models and good tutors for the students to work with and look up to. So anybody that wants to have a direct impact.
Anybody, that's right. Wants to be able to go home at the end of the day and say, I made a difference.
Yeah, it's such a rewarding experience to go into the classroom and to work with a little kid and to see them progress and blossom. And a lot of it's just having a consistent adult presence in their life that shows up once a week and spends 30 minutes, 45 minutes with them working on their reading, but really, just as a mentor or a consistent adult.
Yeah, it's more than that, isn't it, Michael?
It is.
Because you can tell us, after all the years of doing this, you don't always have the same child every year.
No.
And it takes a while to build that relationship, so then you can start to teach them what they need.
Yeah, and I mean, at the beginning of the year, you're paired with a student and they're a little timid and reserved, and then to see them progress throughout the year and to see them blossom and open up to you, and it's a great way. I try to tutor in the mornings before I go to work, and so it's a good way to start off your day, once or twice a week to have that experience. And you go in with a smile on your face.
Yeah.
You're just ready to tackle the day after working with that little kid.
It's the ultimate spiritual breakfast, isn't it?
It is. It's such a great experience.
So question for both of you, and Kerrisan, I'll ask you first this. How would you rank volunteerism in Tacoma? And do you see it actually on the rise?
Yes, especially at Tacoma Community House. I think that volunteering is really important. Michael and I talked about how it really is a breath of fresh air during the day, and it really, again, puts your passion into action. I see a lot of people in Tacoma seeing things happen at the local level or the national level, dealing with people who are on the fringes, our immigrant neighbors and our refugee neighbors, and they want to do something about it. So a lot of the volunteers at Tacoma Community House, amazing people, are there because they want to see a difference, and so this is how they make a difference happen.
I love that.
Amazing people, and I invite anybody who has those same mission to come and join our team as well.
Absolutely. Okay, so Michael,
Yeah.
I'm going to switch you around here for a bit because we're starting to end our show here, and I'm so sad. I want you to share with us a story, because you've got to have a story after all this time about how you've made an impact, or that one student that stands out.
Well, and I always go back to the same story. It's when I first started tutoring, I was paired with a student who was struggling with his reading, but I think he really needed a consistent adult presence in his life. And I worked with him for a couple of years, and then he gets to third grade or past third grade, and he goes off, and you don't really get to see or know how he's doing. And then one day, reading in the newspaper and seeing he's getting recognized for his sports accomplishments in high school.
Oh,
And so you kind of know, like, oh, at that point, okay, he was able to at least progress through school in somewhat of a normal fashion, because if he's able to participate in sports, then he's obviously doing at least okay. And so that was the kind of the validation, because there's a long window between third grade and the rest of their life, and you just don't know. And so that was, that validation to know that, okay, you really do have an impact to change the trajectory of somebody's life. And it might only be, a half hour or 45 minutes a week for a school year, or for maybe 2 school years, is all that young child needs to get pushed up over the hump so they can go on and live whatever their life is supposed to be.
Oh, I would think my work here is done. There it is. That's what I needed. Okay, who do we need to thank in this last 30 seconds?
Well, we definitely need to thank our volunteers who make Read2Me work, and also make the work that we do at Tacoma Community House possible.
Yes.
Have to thank people who invest in Read2Me, because it's a valuable program to be able to run for 30 plus years, really a community partnership coming together. And then, thank Tacoma in general for being a welcoming place, for seeing things that need to change, and for taking steps to making sure they change.
I want to thank both of you for being here today and taking time out of your very busy schedule for making this such a joyful experience for people. Easy, rewarding, and humbling. And I want to say thank you so much for both of your hearts. And I want you back on the comfy couch in about 6 months, and let's work on bringing someone who can read to us.
Oh, that would be so exciting.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that wraps up another great segment of CityLine. It is always a pleasure and a privilege to be in your home. We have given you a lot of great things to think about in this last hour, so please go out there, be a part of the tapestry, and above all, pay it forward. And when you come back, as always, we'll be waiting for you right here at CityLine. Take care.